Ever stop and think about what actually happens when you hit send? It feels like pure magic, right? Your message just zips across the planet in an instant. But it's not magic. It's a really precise set of digital rules of the road. So for the next few minutes, we're going to follow a single message on its incredible journey and uncover the invisible architecture that makes our whole connected world possible.
I mean, just think about it. Every like, every share, every single instant message, it's all just data. These platforms we use every day are really just the endpoints for a massive, constant flow of information. What's so wild is that every single tiny piece of that data has to follow the same basic rules to get from point A to point B, whether it's going across the room or across the planet. And yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How does that little packet of data manage to find its way through this gigantic, chaotic network of billions of devices and arrive at the perfect destination, totally intact, in less than a blink of an eye? All right, let's pull back the curtain and actually map out that journey.
Okay, so first things first. For any conversation to work, whether it's between two people or two computers, you gotta have some ground rules. In the digital world, these aren't just suggestions. They are the absolute fundamental laws that make any communication possible in the first place. Exactly. A protocol is really just that initial handshake. Before your phone can even think about sending a message to a server, they both have to agree on a shared language, a protocol, that's going to govern their whole chat. Without that agreement, all you have is digital noise, just gibberish. And you would be amazed at just how detailed these rules are. A protocol defines the timing, the maximum size of a message, how the data is encoded. Literally every single detail is covered. It has to be, to prevent total digital chaos and make sure the conversation is smooth and error-free. You know, at its very heart, all communication, and I mean all of it, boils down to these three things. You have a source, the sender, you have a destination, the receiver, and you have the channel, which is just the pathway the message travels on. That protocol we just talked about, it defines the rules for this entire path. So, we've got the rules of communication down, but on a network with millions or even billions of devices, you also need a map, right? You need a system for how devices are organized so data can actually find its way. This is what we call the network's topology. Now, this is a super important distinction. We're not talking about where the physical cables are plugged in. A logical topology is all about how the hosts communicate. So think of it less like a physical street map and more like the traffic laws for the data highway. It defines who gets to speak and when they get to do it. And this right here is the core of it all. There are basically two main strategies. On the left, we've got the broadcast method. You can think of this like a big, chaotic town hall meeting where anyone can just shout out whenever they want. It's fast, it's simple, it's why most wired networks like Ethernet use it. But it can lead to data collisions when two devices talk at once. Then on the right, you have token passing. This is a much more orderly system, like passing a talking stick around a circle. You only get to speak when you're holding the electronic token. It might be a little slower, but it guarantees everyone gets a turn without any interruptions. Okay, so the logical topology decides when a device gets its turn to speak, but once it has the floor, who is it talking to? Is the message meant for just one device, a specific group, or is it for everyone on the network? This is all about addressing. First up, we've got unicast. This is your classic one-to-one private conversation. When you click on a website, your computer sends a unicast packet directly to that one specific web server. It's a direct, private line, just for the two of them. Next is broadcast. This is the complete opposite. It's a one-to-all announcement. Now hold on, don't confuse this with the broadcast topology we just talked about. That's about how devices talk. This is about the address on the message itself. A broadcast message goes out to everyone on the local network. It's like a device shouting, "Hey, I'm here," when it first connects. And finally, there's multicast, which is the perfect happy medium. This is a one-to-many message. So instead of sending a packet to everyone, it's addressed just to a specific group of devices that have subscribed or shown interest. Think of streaming a live video. The data only goes to the people who are actually watching. It makes the whole network so much more efficient. All right, we've covered the rules, the traffic laws, and the addressing system. Now let's connect all these abstract ideas back to the physical world we all know and use, the cables and the airwaves that actually make it all happen. So whether your data is traveling through an actual Ethernet cable or just flying through the air as Wi-Fi radio waves, all those core principles of protocols and topologies are still at play.
The channel might look completely different, but believe me, the fundamental logic behind it is the same. And this table really lays out the trade-offs. Remember that broadcast topology, the town hall meeting? Well, both Wi-Fi and wired Ethernet use it, but they handle the everyone speaking at once problem differently. Wi-Fi uses collision avoidance. It sort of listens for a clear channel before it sends. It's more polite. Wired Ethernet uses collision detection. It just sends, and if it detects a collision, it backs off and tries again. It's a subtle but really crucial difference that's dictated by the physical connection itself. You know, after digging into all this complexity, it's really worth remembering this simple, powerful idea. All of these layers, the protocols, the topologies, the hardware, they all exist for one single reason: to give us a way to communicate, to connect a source with a destination. That's it. We have literally built our modern world on top of these digital rules of the road. But as we start connecting everything, and I mean everything, from our cars to our coffee makers, into this global conversation, you have to ask, are the rules we just discussed strong enough for what's coming? Or are we on the verge of needing a completely new digital language to handle the future?